So I don't know if you can tell behind me, I took down that arrow. Every time I made a video, it looked like it was going through my head. So I'm gonna rearrange the wall back there. Anyway, this video is gonna be about where not to sell your silver. And just bear with me, try to understand where I'm coming from. Before I get going there, I just posted this video 4 minutes ago and it's already been banned from making any monetization. It is amazing how we're being punished for speaking any type of truth. Now that video right there is not a political video. It's just the ramifications of society being brainwashed and what can happen. So it is amazing. They don't want anything out pertaining to any critique of their system. Anyway, so where to not sell your silver? I'm going to start off with my favorite place to sell silver, and that is the local coin shops. I'm purposely doing that. It's because instant payment. When you need money, you don't need it in 2 weeks, you don't need it in 3 weeks, and you don't want to risk it being stolen from you in the interim. Local coin shops offer you the safety. Those guys are normally armed just like they are in a pawn shop, but they're going to offer you fair price, more so if you have purchased from them and they know you. They're going to offer you fair price and you're going to get that money on the spot. So, shit hit the fan doesn't have to mean a zombie apocalypse or some kind of mass nuclear event. Shit hit the fan could mean you were laid off, and you're going to need that money quickly to pay bills or get a car repaired to get to work the next day. You get my point. When you need the money, you need it now. What is that one commercial? I need my money and I need it now. Okay, so this gets me to where not to sell your silver at. I don't like selling my silver on eBay. There have been a lot of horror stories where the people you will sell your silver, ship your silver to somebody who wants to buy it, and they will make a complaint to eBay that they received fake silver. You will be forced to refund their money, and if you used PayPal or any mechanism such as a debit card, they can actually take it from your account. Many people then are told to send the package back, and they keep the package, or they send you back a box of washers. I do not recommend selling your silver or gold for that matter on eBay. However, let's just say the person on the other end was on the up and up and mailed you your payment or PayPal'd your payment. Well, as that one commercial says, I need my money and I need it now. You're going to have to wait for their check to get to you, or let's just say their PayPal payment. It'll take about, you get the actual notification almost instantly through PayPal, but then PayPal needs another, 24 to 36 hours to process and get that payment into your account. So there's a little downfall there. And in addition to that downfall, you have to box up the precious metals. You have to probably insure it, which makes it harder to sell because now the purchaser is buying above average price for that product. So there's that fine line to walk on how much insurance before you basically market yourself out of the market. So, you're going to have to package that up, drive it there, drive back. That's all your time. Gas, your time and gas, it's all your time. You know what I mean? So I don't recommend eBay. I'm going to switch gears again and go back to another favorite seller. So I've already mentioned the local coin shops, especially if you have a rapport relationship with these people. Online retailers such as APMEX, Monument Metals, and JM Bullion. They also buy your silver and gold back. But again, you have to ship out the package to them and you have to wait for your payment. Now, keep in mind, you're not the only box of silver they're getting. They'll receive your silver and you'll have to just wait your turn until they get to your box. That could take a week, possibly, depending on how many people have sent silver in ahead of you, or gold for that matter. Then they're going to have to, inspect your package, make sure it's real, and then they'll send a memo over to accounting to write a check out, and then the next day or two they'll get that, okay, their weekly post office drop where they have somebody going and dropping off packages and your check into the post office to be shipped to you. My point is you're going to have to wait some time to get paid again through an online retailer. However, the risk, if you're not in a rush, is quite low. Let's talk about Craigslist. If you're willing to meet somewhere publicly and do the deal, there's a good chance it'll go sweet. You get your money instantly. Again, you got to meet in a public area, maybe who knows, maybe a coffee shop or a bookstore. I don't know your area, but I would meet in a public area for your safety. I would not travel to somebody else's house. You can get ambushed in the parking lot or wherever you're going. End of story. Need I say more? You meet in a public area and exchange cash. The third worst place I'm going to mention is a pawn shop. Now, I know I've covered this in the past videos. I know I've talked about this same subject about a year and a half ago, maybe. But you have to understand, I have 6,000 to 7,000 more subscribers today than I have then. So that's why I'm repeating this video. Pawn shops, in my opinion, are the very worst places to go to. Now, why do I say that? Pawn shops are normally, not all the time, are normally in a part of town that is, let's say, a little bit more, shall I say, desperate. A lot of them are in areas where there's a strong drug addiction problem, crime problem. When you enter a pawn shop, it's normally out of desperation. For those people who use pawn shops, let's face it, the majority of people who use pawn shops are people in desperation. I said the majority, not all of them, and I'm not pointing at you, but the majority are people in desperation. The people who work in pawn shops, here's where the problem is. The problem isn't that you're desperate, it's the people in the pawn shops take advantage of that desperation and will lowball you and offer you virtually nothing for that silver, for that gold. You got to be careful about going into pawn shops. Completely different atmosphere than a local coin shop. Excuse me. I've heard stories now where there are no local coin shops where people live and they must go to a pawn shop. I'm going to give you some advice then on how to deal with a pawn shop worker. Go in there if you have any sizable silver that you're trying to sell. You stand to make a few $100s or even a $5,000. Go in there dressed business casual. maybe a nice pair of jeans and a polo shirt that's tucked in. Comb your hair. Don't look desperate is what I'm trying to say. Don't look hungry. You walk in there and you talk to them like you know what you're doing. Now, the first thing you can say to a pawn shop worker is, I noticed that the spot price of this silver is this. Immediately from you using the verbiage spot price without offending him, it tells him that you know what you're doing. Instead of walking in there with a torn or faded lousy t-shirt and a half-grown beard like you haven't taken a shower for a while and throwing some coins on the counter, how much can I get for this? You see what I'm saying? They're going to treat the two different people differently. And I do believe the person who goes in there and doesn't look desperate, looks a little cleaner, says a couple of words that are part of the lingo, will get a better deal. I would also go into my local coin shop. And so you don't offend them. You don't go in there, I know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to get ripped off. That's not how you want to say that. But at the same time, you want them to know that you know what you're talking about and you don't want to get ripped off. The simplest thing to ask them is, what is the spot price today? Oh, wait a second, I got an app for that. So they can know that you know now. You see, and that automatically tells them you know what you're doing. They're less apt to lowball you and give you a more fair price. I do not like dealing with pawn shops. But sometimes you might not have a choice because that might be all that's available to you. But if you can stand the wait, contact your online retailer, your JM Bullion, your Provident Metals, your AppMex, wherever you buy your silver from. Get an estimate over the phone first. And if you can stand to wait the timeline that they give you, they might tell you over the phone it's a week or two turnaround. If you can stand and wait that, and you compare it to your local coin or your local pawn shop if you must, get the best deal possible for yourself. I've never had to sell any silver, fortunately. Since the day I started stacking, not one lousy ounce was sold by me. Anyway, folks, you have a great day and take care of yourselves.